Hey, what's going on, friends? This is Paul Hutchings. Hope you're having an amazing day. This is Good Parts number 109. Good Parts is a daily social media show where I go live Monday through Friday to share one good part from my life and or business to do the best that I can to help me and you and as many people as we can create lives of freedom, prosperity, happiness, abundance, and goodness, all the good things life has to offer. And in today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you. A post that a friend of mine shared last week. And by the way, if you're tuning in live, do me a favor and comment below. If you're watching the replay, do me a favor and drop a hashtag replay down below. But this a friend of mine, she sent me this Facebook post last week that I read, and I've not been able to get it out of my brain for a few reasons, I suppose. One, because it's sad to me when I see people in the home business profession having to go through pain, some of which might be unnecessary. Maybe I don't know. I mean, maybe we all have our own journeys. That being said, I do think that sometimes in home business, people are taught to do things that cause them pain, that if they would have just been able to see something a little different before they got introduced to those ideas, maybe they would have been able to skip over that pain. So the post that I'm going to read to you is from a lady. I won't share her name because I don't know if she wants me to share her name with this content. But she'd been building a business from home for 5 years, and then she got to a point where she just felt like she had to quit. And not only did she have to quit, but she wanted to encourage others to quit. And this was a lady that was successful from what I can see, from her post. She was successful. So even though she was making money, even though she was having success, after 5 years, she said, this is not worth it. I'm out, and so I'm going to share this with you. And then what I want to do is share with you 11 ways that I have been building my business for now almost 20 years, my business from home, that have allowed me to continue to build my business in a way that I still love. Have I had times in my journey where I hated what it was that I was doing, where I got to the same space this lady is in, where I felt like quitting, where I felt like I couldn't do it anymore? Yes, I've been there. But the things that I'm going to share with you today allowed me to kind of come to a different conclusion. And the different conclusion I came to, I'll share with you in this video as we continue on. So I want to say, hey, Lonnie, thanks for tuning in. Hey, Rich, thanks for tuning in. Nice to see you. And Veronique from Belgium. Veronique, Peter and the kids, hello. Thanks for tuning in. Peter says, greetings from Columbia, Colorado. Awesome. Hey, Peter, good to see you. All right, well, let me go ahead and just read this post to you, and this will provide a lot more context. So here's the post. It says, I never thought I'd be one of them, but after 5 years in the network marketing profession, I have a lot to say and a lot to pull from. It can't be chalked up to Leah's just mad because she didn't make money. Because yes, I did. A full-time income, got paid for the vehicle, went on the trips, etc. A catchphrase we used within my organization was people come here to heal, when in reality, the healing began when I left. I think most people stay in because it feels like an easier choice than facing everything. Addicted to work, addicted to being busy, addicted to my phone, addicted to social media, addicted to podcasts and listening to something constantly because of mindset, addicted to distractions, addicted to being better. Sometimes it feels like I'm biting the hand that fed me, but the shit that happens in multi-level marketing is not normal. I pray for those still sucked in by the delusions of the smoke and mirrors. I understand the desire we all have for a better life. We all want prosperity and happiness. MLM is exhausting. And when I broke down my commissions pay versus the hours worked, I about had a stroke. Just because you can work anytime, any place does not mean there is time freedom. If I was not tied to my phone, I was not making money. There was no clocking out. Missing out on family events, anniversary dinners, baseball games, graduations, and so much more in the name of sacrifice is not normal or something to brag about. It's sad. The people convincing you to sacrifice and keep showing up and blah, 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 don't give an F about you. Mark my words. Now, these are her words, not mine. So I'm just reading her words. She says, when you finally step back and see things for what they really are, it's beyond disturbing and truly takes reflecting and healing I never expected when I signed on that dotted line. And then she says, don't join an MLM. There are other ways to make extra money. So that's a pretty serious, heavy post, from someone who went through a journey and then looked back and said this journey wasn't worth it. And she listed some things that made it so that even though she was making money, she did not love what she was doing. She didn't love the sacrifices she was making, and those other things that she mentioned. And so, I've been really thinking about this because I also have been through. I used to build network marketing. I've built multiple network marketing business to pretty high levels, and I've noticed that in any kind of a business, whether it's MLM, whether it's affiliate marketing, even in traditional business, this is the first thing that I want to highlight here. For me, this is my perspective, and I'm not proclaiming that what I'm going to share in this video is the solution or the answer for this lady. I don't know her. I don't know all the specifics of her journey, but I've been on a similar journey. Back in 2005, the first company I joined, network marketing company. I was in multiple network marketing companies for the first 2 years of my journey. So I've seen some of what she's talking about. And so the first thing that I wanted to highlight, this is a conclusion that I've come to for myself, is that in any business model, there's the business model itself, and then there are people building the business model, and the people building the business model can do all kinds of different things that are good and or really, really bad. This is true for any business model you find. In fact, I was doing a webinar this last weekend, and I told a story about how I used to be in the car business. I worked at an auto auction. And when I decided to go full time building my business from home, I remember talking to my boss. We were driving on the freeway one time to go see this car dealer. And I remember telling my boss that I was getting out, I was going to go full time in home business. And here's something that I said. I said, I just want to get into a business where everyone's honest and ethical and wants to do good for people. And in the car business, there is that, but there's also some shiftiness, some shadiness, some, lies, deceit. And I don't want to have a life like that. So what I'm going to do, boss, is I'm going to get in the home business profession because I want to be surrounded by people who just have good intentions for everybody. And I laugh now when I think about that, because the truth is, there is no business. As long as there's a business with people, you're never going to find a business model that just has honest, ethical, good. Everyone's got the best of intentions for everybody. Because guess what, guys? That's not how people in general are. Like, yes, you have people like that, but you also have opposite examples of people like that. And in home business, you're going to find that. You're going to find that. And so I guess the distinction that I wanted to pass along right off the bat is that distinctions. Robert Kiyosaki said intelligence is the ability to make finer distinctions. And so what I came to after reflecting on my journey for many years in building home business and experiencing some of the things that this lady talked about in her post was that, okay, I didn't like the smoke and mirrors. I didn't like that. I didn't like the constant pressure from leaders that I had to be building my business 24 hours a day and sacrificing my family and being on the phone all the time. I didn't like that. We actually made a big old list of things, my business partner and I, of things we didn't like. But guess what? All of those things that we didn't like, most of them, it wasn't the network marketing model. It was the ways in which people were choosing to build the network marketing model. So, and by the way, I'm not building a network marketing business right now. So I'm not here to promote network marketing, other than I'm so thankful for my journey in network marketing, because I wouldn't be the man that I am today had I not gone through those experiences and gotten around great mentors and fallen in love with the idea of residual income and fallen in love with personal development. All of that to me came because I joined a network marketing business. So I'm very thankful for all of those positive aspects of network marketing. And additionally, when I think about the network marketing model, now again, I'm not here promoting network marketing, but if you think about network marketing in its core essence, which is you have a product or a service that provides tremendous value to someone's life. Okay. That's the first piece. Then the second piece is if you find tremendous value in that product or service, you can find other people who will also find tremendous value in that product or service. Those people can find other people who find tremendous value in that product or service. And if it all works out perfectly, or ideally, I should say, it gives someone an opportunity to build leverage, a leveraged income in their life. And that idea in its core essence, I don't think that's a bad idea. I think that's a great idea, giving people an opportunity to see something bigger, do something bigger, become more through the process of personal growth and personal development. It's just that when people take this idea and then they put in all of this other ridiculous nonsense, lies, hype, smoke and mirrors. I mean, I could go on and on. There's a lot of things that happen, not just in network marketing, though, right? In affiliate marketing, in the auto business, in you pick your business, banking, any business is going to have examples of people that are not leading in the best way. So that's the first thing I wanted to throw out, is that if we can somehow separate the things that are happening in whatever it is that we're doing that are not right, that don't resonate with us, separate those out and try not to make those things paint a broad brushstroke over the whole business model, right? So that's the first thing. And I see we've got a lot of people tuning in and making comments here. Thank you so much, Rob Daniel. Good to see you. Thank you, Minister Christian. Thank you for being here. Carletta, thank you for being here. Nick, thanks for being here. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, what I want to do is I want to get into the 11 leveraged ways that I have found to grow my home business over the years that make me like what I'm doing still, that make it so I feel like I have a life of freedom while I'm building more freedom. And this is one of the things that causes people to come to some of the conclusions that this lady came to, is just complete burnout, where you're working all the time. You have no free time. You're sacrificing your kids, your family time, your personal time, everything, because you got this thing that I'm building. It's the be all end all. It's the most important thing. Nothing else matters. Like, that's not a great path, if you want to build it long term. And unfortunately, that mindset is encouraged in some business models. So I want to share these 11 things with you. But before I do that, I wanted to share one more story. So this day that I read this post, I think it was either a Friday or a Saturday. Now, Saturday night here in my home, most of my family went to the fair. It was the last day of the fair here. And one of my kids, Kyson, he's my third son. I talked him into staying home with me to have a father-son night. So we went and got Chinese food. We bought 2 new PlayStation games that he wanted to play. And so we spent the whole evening, just me and my son, Kyson, having a good time. And we're playing PlayStation. It's like 9:00 at night. And I see an email notification come in. So I check it. And it was a new customer that had enrolled with me over the weekend, a person that I don't know, never talked to, never heard of. He had found my business, watched the presentation, and got started. So welcome to that new customer. I'm so excited you're here. But I was thinking about that, like, okay, here I am playing PlayStation with my son, and I have a new customer join my business while I'm playing PlayStation with my son. That's a different picture than the picture that was painted by the other experience that I shared with you on this Zoom, right? Where you're just grinding, working all day and night to gather customers, to coach your team members. Here I am enjoying freedom and my business is still growing. So that's one of the things that makes it so I still love my business, is I'm able to build it in leveraged ways. I'm able to still have a life that I love while my business continues to grow. And some of the reasons that I'm able to do that are from these ways that I'm going to share with you. So let's get into this. Number one, 11 ways. This is what I'm calling this: 11 ways to build a business from home that you don't hate. Now, I'll let you know right up front, some of these things, you might have people around you that say, that's not the right way to do it. That's not duplicatable. And okay, I think I'm back. Okay, so 11 ways to build a business from home that you don't hate. Okay, the first thing is number one, use leverage. This is one of the first lessons that I learned when I joined my very first home business. I was taught that leverage is the ability to do more with less. Now, sometimes, and I'm going to talk about the network marketing model for just a second. The way that a lot of times leverage is promoted in network marketing is your only leverage comes from gathering customers, gathering team members, then teaching those team members to go gather customers and gather team members, and then teaching those customers and team members to go gather customers and gather. Okay, that is a form of leverage, but it's only one form of leverage. So sometimes in network marketing, people are taught that any other form of leverage is bad because it's not duplicatable. Okay, so I wanted to highlight that because the things I'm going to talk about are not really talking about that type of leverage. So the ways that I've chosen to leverage in my business, and I've been doing this since 2009, even though some people told me that it will never work, it's not right, it's not duplicatable. Number one is you want to leverage your traffic. And traffic is just people coming to find you, people coming to find your business. So one way to find people is to go meet people, go to networking events and Facebook messages. That's one way, right? But that's not the only way. That's not the most leveraged way. So how would you do a leveraged way of attracting people to you? And by the way, I'm never going to diss on doing those other ways because I've done those other ways and yes, they work. You know, you can create sales doing those things, sending messages, building relationships, asking questions, finding out if people are open to looking at another opportunity to grow income. Those ways work. And this is one of the things that we sometimes deal with when we talk about other ways to use leverage in your business is that someone who's only used one form of leverage that they know works, if you talk about doing it in another way, they'll be like, no, that's not the leveraged way. That's not the way we know works. But here's something that I've learned, guys, is that multiple things work. You know, it's not just that only one thing works. Yeah, one thing works and other things work too. So aside from one-on-one, reaching out, giving invitations, building relationships, which does work, right? It does work. Here are some other ways. Number one, you can create content on the internet, which is what I'm doing right here on social media. You can make YouTube videos where people are looking for certain keywords. They go to YouTube, they type up the keyword, voila, they find your video. So once the content is created, now people can find you automatically without you actually having to run out and invite and connect and gather people with your own mouth and your own hands. It's leverage, creating a video like this. You know, we've got 10 people here live right now. I don't know how many will watch the replay, but that's 10 people, you know, here listening to this message. Probably a lot will find this on while I'm not here doing this live. So that's a form of leverage. So you want to create content that allows people to find you once the content is created and you're playing PlayStation with your kids or you're off doing other things. This is a way that people can find you and your business. Okay. That's the first one. That's the first way you can create content. That's a form. Another leveraged form of traffic is to place ads. You can run ads on all kinds of social media platforms. You can you can run ads on Facebook. You can run ads on X. You can run ads on YouTube. You can run ads. There's so many places to run ads. And an ad is a form of leverage because you spend a little bit of money and then your ad is out there in the market, showing the message, attracting people. That's leverage, right? So that's a second way of leverage. A third way of using leverage to attract people to you rather than you chasing people down is to make sure that you are putting valuable information out on the internet. How do you do that? Well, you do that in content and you do that in ads. Jim Rohn said you get paid for bringing value to the marketplace. So imagine this, for a number of months, weeks, years, I've been doing this now for 2 decades. So I have a lot of content out there online. And hopefully my content is valuable so that when people are looking for value, they find me, and that becomes a magnet. If you want to have magnetic content, here's the key is create valuable content, things that people find value in. So that's a third way to leverage traffic. The fourth way to leverage traffic is to use what's called a capture page. So when I first got started building my business from home, the way was you make a list of everyone you know and you call them and you invite them to a meeting. You invite them to watch a video, and then you get them there, and then you follow up. You ask questions, you close. Then after that, you got to train them. And a lot of times you're doing this really one-on-one and really hands-on. Well, when I discovered that on the internet, rather than me making a list of everyone that I knew, I could have a capture page that people would find on the internet and put their own name and their own email in. Now what's happening is they are adding themselves to my list rather than me having to like make a list of everyone that I know and keep looking at this big long list every day. So that's another way to leverage. That's how this person who joined this weekend got started, found a capture page, put the name and email in, got on my email list, and now saw a sales presentation and then got started. Okay, so fourth way is capture page. So we got content, ads. Hopefully your content and ads are valuable. So it's not just the pitch, but it's something that's adding value to someone, whether they join or not. They find the capture page. That's the fourth way to leverage. Then the fifth way is an automated presentation. So we have an automated presentation in our business that's working really well, which is just a recorded video that explains everything. This one video can be played hundreds of thousands of times. And it doesn't matter if there are 1 million people watching this video, that results in zero extra time invested on my part because it's a form of leverage. So you want to have an automated presentation. The next one is email follow-up. So once people add themselves to your email list and your email list is growing, what I've done and what I still do is every day I will send an email to my email list. And the goal is to make the email valuable. Why? Because I want people to, first I want to I want to be a benefit to people. If they open my email, I actually want to deliver something to them that will enhance their life. Because that's what I want to do. I don't want to be someone who's just taking. I want to be a person who's giving. But the natural corollary to writing emails that way is that if people find value in your emails, they will keep opening your emails. So now I can have an email list of thousands of people, which I do. And when I write an email, that email goes out to thousands of people. That's a form of leverage. This makes it so I can write one email a day and be speaking to thousands of people. That is so cool. You know, that's an incredible form of leverage. And guess how long it takes me to do that? Usually under an hour every day to do my marketing, to write an email. And in this email, you can be giving an invitation to look at your business. So you want to make the email valuable, but then guess what? We've got this thing called a PS line. So I can include a PS line that says, hey, if you're open to looking at an incredible way to generate income online from home, doing things that you love, you might want to click this link and watch this recorded presentation, right? So now, instead of me looking at my day and trying to figure out how am I going to contact 3,000 people today by sending Facebook messages, no, instead I write an email and now I'm contacting 3,000 people in a way that they hopefully like and appreciate. And then while they're liking and appreciating my communication, I'm giving an invitation to thousands of people. That's a leveraged way to grow your business that does take time, but it doesn't take 12 to 20 hours a day. That is for sure. You can do this in an hour or two, wisely invested time every day, and it can really add up to something to where you're generating income, building a business that you love, and still having a life of freedom. The next form of leverage that I've built into my business is systematized training and coaching. So one thing that happens when you're building a business from home is you introduce your business to someone. They are like, I love this. I want to get started. So then they get started. Okay, now what? If you're someone that really wants to help people, your goal is, okay, I got to get a hold of this person. I got to set up a training session. I got to make sure they know exactly what to do to get started. And a lot of times people take this on themselves. Well, if you have a system that does the training, so a couple examples. So one would be a fast start training that has a set of videos that rather than you being there in person, the videos do all the training. The videos do all of the coaching and the inviting and telling people what to do. That way, after someone gets started, now they just go through the fast start process that is all recorded, and they can get the training they need and then start taking action from that training. Again, your personal time is not in the equation. What does that do? That frees up your time so you can live life doing the things that you want to do. So you got to have a systematized training and coaching a way for your people. Otherwise, it's really easy to just get completely burnt out. Because if you're good at building a business from home, which hopefully will all become really, really good over time, might not be really, really good when you first get started, and that's okay. I'm terrible at things that I just get started on. I remember when I married my wife, we were on our wedding day, and I turned to my wife and I said, "You need some breast spray." And I pulled out some breast spray and I sprayed her, and it sprayed all over her face, and she laughed, and someone took a picture. And it was a funny moment in my marriage, but I always remember that story because I wasn't very good at being a husband. Telling your wife her breath stinks, probably not a good thing to do, but over the years of being married, I've learned, okay, don't do that. Instead, give her compliments, tell her how beautiful she is, tell her how great her hair looks, tell her how you like her outfit. These are better things to do. And it's the same with building a home-based business. You might not be great when you start, but if you stick with it and you pay attention to your coaching, the people around you who have done this and can show you how to do it in the best way, you'll pick up lessons and you'll get really, really good at it. And hopefully your systematized training has many of these lessons in, so you don't have to be there one-on-one. Okay, so we got content ads that hopefully are valuable, use a capture page, automated presentation, email follow-up, systematized training and coaching. The next one is a commission plan that is leveraged. Okay, so since I talked about network marketing, we'll talk about that for just a second. The leverage in network marketing comes from a big team of people because you earn small amounts of income from a lot of people. That is one way to build leverage in your income, but it's not the only way. So another way that you can build leverage in your income, and this is how I do it mainly now, is I promote, like our business, we have products that are valuable that pay an 80% commission. So that means when I gather a customer, rather than earning a small amount of income, I'm able to earn a much higher amount of income. And to just give you a couple, real life examples, in one of the first teams I built in network marketing, we gathered a team of 600 people, and that paid me about $1,200 monthly residual income. Well, in my current business, if I gather a team of 30 people, that will pay me $3,000 monthly residual income. So I don't have the leverage from, like I sponsor someone and then they sponsor someone and they sponsor someone and they sponsor someone like you would in network marketing. But I do have the leverage of getting paid much higher for the work that I do. And that makes it so I can gather a much smaller team and earn an income that makes a big difference for my family. And I like that. That's a form of leverage. And then if you take that concept and you combine it with the internet, where there's an unlimited number of customers you can gather, you've got thousands of people on your email list. Now you've got another leveraged way to grow higher commissions while you're building your business. That's how I mainly love to do it nowadays. I like the idea that my income is based on my efforts, and I don't have to run around motivating people or like telling people to do things because my income is dependent upon whether they do those things or not. I like having my income in my own hands. But regardless, you want to have a leveraged way to earn income. That's really the point. Whether that's in network marketing or whether it's in affiliate marketing, you've got to have leverage in your commission plan. It's one of the big problems with a job. There's no leverage in a job. You only get paid for the time you put in that day. That's it. You don't show up, you don't get paid. That is not leveraged income. So those are the leveraged ways to build your business that I've been able to build a business that I love, that after 2 decades, I still love it. I still enjoy it. I still like my life. Do I have bad days? Sure. We all have bad days. We have days where we don't feel like doing it. But for the most part, that way has really made it so I am happy to continue growing. And I also, because of I've got all this leverage in that I've mentioned in this presentation, I can see that my team can continue to grow exponentially. And it's because it's not dependent on my personal time, I can continue to serve more and more and more people as my income grows. So yeah, you don't want your income to be dependent on your time. Here's another great phrase: learn to earn with your mind more so than your time. If you can learn to earn with your mind more so than your time, you've got the potential of scaling, infinitely, really. So the last thing I wanted to talk about is to not sacrifice things, the most important things in life, to build your business while you're building your business. And this is one of the hurtful things that I think sometimes happens in home businesses, is where leaders, because they want you to build and work and grow so hardcore, maybe it's because their income is dependent upon whether you build or work hardcore. Messages sometimes come out that I think are unhealthy. Sacrifice everything. Hey, you may have to sacrifice a year of your life working from morning till late at night on weekends. You may have no family time. In fact, I've heard people say this: hey, what you want to do is you want to gather your family around and you want to let them know that, hey, daddy's going to be gone for a while because daddy needs to do this for the family. And basically, you're letting your family know that you're not going to be a dad for a while because you're going to be 100% focused on growing an income. I don't know if those are the most healthy messages. And furthermore, I don't know if those are sustainable long term. So what I prefer is to build a business in a way where I don't have to sacrifice all the things that are important to me in order to grow an income. I don't want to sacrifice my family. I don't want to sacrifice my principles. And this is another one that this lady mentioned in her post. She mentioned the phrase smoke and mirrors. What's that? That's where sometimes in home business, you have people that want to make a sale and project an image so bad that they'll paint this big, beautiful picture of how it is and how easy it is and how much money you can make. But then behind the scenes, when you get behind the smoke and mirrors, you start to see a different picture. You start to see that people are living, maybe not the best lives. They're sacrificing all the things that are important. Maybe they're not making all the money that they led you to believe that they were making. And so if you're preaching messages like this, and then you discover that what you've been teaching is not the truth, that is a killer for your heart and your ability to sustain it long term. So don't sacrifice your honesty. Only say things that are true. Only say things that are real. And what I found when we started our company 6 years ago, this was one of the things that we wanted to do. We wanted to make sure that we were only speaking things that we felt were true 100%. This is why we have strived in our company to avoid as much as possible, if not altogether, telling people things like, hey, you can go out and build $100,000 monthly income. Like, is that possible? Yeah, it's possible, but is it probable? Do most people do that? No. So I don't want to lead people to believe something that's not real, that's not real. And that's one of the reasons that we designed our commission plan the way that we did, where you can gather 10 customers and earn $1,000 a month. You can gather 30 and earn $3,000 a month. Why did we do that? Because that feels real to us. Is it very possible to gather a team of 30 people? Yeah, that feels really real to us. Is it possible to gather a team of 50 or 100 people? Yeah, when you're good, when you put in some work, when you've got skills, yes, that feels very, very real and possible. And not only that, but we've seen it play out. And so we see it in reality happening before our eyes. But the point is, only say things that you feel are true, that you believe are true, and that will help you sustain far off into the future, I think, because I think lies eventually they come crashing down. Whether you're accidentally telling a lie because someone told you something and you believed it was true and you're telling that lie, eventually you're going to discover it and it's not going to feel good to your heart. Like leading people in a way that's dishonest, I think, unless you're just like a very malicious person, eventually will get to your soul and make you not want to do it anymore. So don't sacrifice your family. Don't sacrifice your principles. Don't sacrifice your friendships. And this is another thing that sometimes is done in home-based business, where it's like, just do whatever you can to build the business. I was talking to my friend Amy, who's a top affiliate in our company and a great friend of mine. And she was sharing with me how, she recently had an injury. She got in a surfing accident and she made a post on social media. And all of a sudden she got tons of messages of people saying, hey, my product can fix you. My product can fix you. My product can fix you. And I'm sure some of these messages had good intentions behind them, but guess how it made Amy feel? It made her feel like these people were like vultures, like someone, like there was an injured animal and these vultures were flying around, like swooping in, trying to get the money. That's sacrificing friendship, if you're just trying to get a sale from someone and it doesn't feel good. There are ways to grow a home business where you don't sacrifice your relationships. And it just boils down to wanting what's good for people. Don't, not lying, not overhyping, not telling people that, they're not going to be in your life anymore if they don't work 10 hours a day. You're not committed. I can see you're not committed because you're not doing all these things I'm telling you to do. Like, hey, remember the human element, that everyone's lives are different. We all have different paths. And just because I've done something that's worked for me and helped me to have success doesn't mean that's the only way that someone else can find success. And so, yeah, just strive to be good to people, because if you're good to people and you don't shame people and you don't guilt people, you're going to feel good about how you're building your business, I think. So those are the top 11 ways that I jotted down to build a business from home that you love, using leverage and not sacrificing the things that are most important while you're building your business. And lastly, here's another one that just came to mind. Be okay with it taking some time. I think another thing that is not great in some home businesses is this incredible sense of urgency where they use deadlines and promotions and anything and everything that they can do to get you to take massive action now before the clock hits zero. I don't know if that's the most healthy thing, because if you feel like you're in a hurry all the time, eventually that's not going to feel great. And if you're like being in a hurry for this promotion and then being in a hurry for this promotion and being in a hurry for this promotion, that's probably not good for relationships over time. So if you can slow down a little bit and ask yourself this question: how can I build a business while having a lifestyle that I love? For me, the answer is remove the pressure, remove the urgency, remove the all of the things that make me behave in a way that aren't feeling good to my heart and my soul. Because if I can feel good in my heart and my soul as to how I'm growing my business, I'm going to be able to sustain that. People are going to like me more. And I just feel that's better for like a long-term perspective. So anyway, those are my thoughts, guys. Hopefully they've been of value to you. I am Paul Hutchings. I do these every day, Monday through Friday, in an effort to help people build freedom, and like their lives at the same time. So if you want to get more from me, please subscribe to me on social media, or you are welcome to visit my website, paulhutchings.net/GIFTS. And you can subscribe to my email list, pick up a free gift, and we'll be off and away. So what are your thoughts, guys? I would love to hear what you're thinking about this content. Let me see. And hopefully I haven't been cutting in and out. Nick says, thank you for providing such a great resource, hope, and example. My pleasure. Thanks for being here. Bill says, thank you for sharing. My pleasure. Thanks for commenting. Nick says, always love, love, love your super inspiring insights. Thank you. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate you so much. And Dan says, hype free for sure. We need to not get caught up in the hype. The only shortcut is the long cut. Yeah. And if you tell someone, I'm going to show you how to make 10 grand in the next 30 days or the next 90 days. And then that 30 days comes and that 90 days comes and they haven't made that 10 grand a month. What's the effect of that? Like, what's the effect of that? If that's why they joined and then it doesn't happen, they're probably going to be gone. They're probably not going to believe you because you promised something that didn't happen to them in their lives, which is terrible for long-term business. You got to have trust for long-term business. So that's a reason that hype, although it does work well in the short term for making sales, I think hype is a killer for long-term freedom, which is residual income. For freedom, you need people who like the products, like the community, feel good about what's happening, who don't feel shamed and guilted, and who are looking forward to something good in the future, but they're okay with maybe it taking some time. You know, it took me 6 years to build my first $3,000 monthly income from home. Am I ashamed to say that? No, because I stuck with it and it got better and better and better. And my life kept getting better and better and better. And now I have a level of freedom that's way beyond what I imagined in the beginning. So I'm okay telling people it can take some time. I think people appreciate it because it feels more honest. And that builds trust. So Carletta says, great advice. Thank you, Carletta. Appreciate you for tuning in. Bill Fever says, we'll have to watch to get it all down. Yep. Thank goodness for the replays. And Lonnie says, well said, Paul. You're an extraordinary example of principle-centered leadership. Thank you so much, Lonnie. I'm not perfect for sure. A lot of room for improvement, but just doing my best, you know, and I think that's all we got to do. We just all have to do our best, be honest, be good, strive to be the change we want to see. And things can work really, really well. So I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you have an amazing day. I'll be back tomorrow with the next Good Parts episode. And for all the people out there that are building a business from home, who might find themselves in that space of that lady, you know, I would just say, please don't quit on your dream. You know, your dream is too important. And there are distinctions to make. Like, it's good to notice things that are not good, that are not healthy, that are not serving people. Those are all really, really good things to notice. But please keep asking yourself the question, is there a way that I can continue to build my dream without having all of these things that I've discovered are hurtful and unhealthy and harmful? And for me, and a lot of people that I work with, the answer for us was yes. We just had to really filter out all those things that didn't feel good to our hearts and just hold fast to the things that did. And, you know, it's been working really, really well. And if you're open to seeing what we're doing on that page I mentioned earlier, paulhutchings.net/GIFTS, you'll see a button that says grow residual income. If you want to check out what we've put together to see if it might be a blessing and a benefit for you on your journey forward, you're welcome to do that. And I'll still love you if you don't, you know. But I also think that what we've put together is just so unique and so special that it's definitely worth taking a look at. So Rita Joy says, I love you, Papa Paul. I love you too, Rita Joy. And Gil says, thanks. And I say thanks back to you, Gil. All right, guys, have a great day. Take care. Bye.